I'm going to share with you one of the concepts I used in my career to get teams and executives focused on the right activities. For some time, I oversaw software development for a gemological laboratory. This was for our core system that ran the entire laboratory. So, everything from the orders to collecting gemological data to producing reports, the whole thing. So, this system was absolutely essential to what the laboratory did, which is being able to service the customers on any given day. Since it was an important system, we had a lot of stakeholders who wanted to make changes to the system. Sometimes they wanted to fix issues with the system, like they needed bug fixes or to support some process change. And there were other requests that were coming more from executives about strategic initiatives, right? Things like new product development and new ways of capturing the data. We needed ways to frame the decisions about what we should implement into the system. One of the ways we did this was by thinking through what is really core to the operation. We created 4 levels: core, slightly removed, very removed, and substantially removed. I'm going to describe what these mean, but first, let's talk about how we used these categories and how they can help you. Thinking through our processes and systems like this helped us communicate with other team members. And you also need to be able to communicate up to your executives about why you're making certain trade offs. And when you're able to articulate the value of your systems and processes in this way, you can get to a shared understanding with them. You can say, yeah, that's a great idea, but it's a slightly removed process, and therefore we probably won't be able to prioritize the development in the main system. But we should look at alternatives, and we should especially see if we can purchase and maintain an alternative. This can make the business case even stronger because the cost of maintenance and development over time may be less because you're purchasing it rather than trying to build something yourself. Now, let's dive into the 4 categories, starting with core systems. We define core processes as those that are absolutely necessary to evaluate a gem and get the report to the customer. So those core processes, those are the processes you can't serve the customer without. They're absolutely necessary for getting this job done today. Then we started classifying some of the non-core systems into different levels. We called the first category slightly removed. These are the processes and systems that are necessary for the organization's operations, and they're even necessary to deliver what you're doing for the customer, but it's not essential to the absolute core process of providing your product. We included things like client service operations, right? Client service operations are essential for delivering your product or service. You need to be able to service your customers when there's an issue. But it may not be core to delivering a specific instance of a service, and that's the point that I'm trying to get across. The next level away from core is very removed. These are systems that are important to the organization's success over time, but they're not necessarily important for the execution of an individual service or the creation of an individual product. This category is going to include things like your reporting system, your business intelligence, like your Tableau or Power BI or whatever you're using for that. We also included things like timekeeping, right? You're not going to be able to run your operations if you don't know how long your people are working, but how long your people are working is not directly related to the delivery of a product or service. And then there are systems that are substantially removed. Now, again, everything is important, right? But these systems that start to be substantially removed from your core processes, I would include things like HR and financial systems or marketing systems and so on. Now, this always depends on your industry, right? In a laboratory, I would consider the HR system to be substantially removed from the core service we provide. But in a temp agency, I might consider the HR system to be core to the service of providing staff to the customers. Now, I approached this mostly from a software development perspective, but you could also look at this from a process design perspective, or to consider where it's best to invest your time and effort. That's the video I have for you today. I hope this helps put some things into perspective and gives you additional tools for how to think about what you're doing in your day-to-day job. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback. Please leave a comment below, and thanks for watching.